Tourists snap pictures of the carved Hokage faces, unaware of the ancient secret locked within. Without warning, the third Hokage's stone face splits down the center. A deafening crack echoes across the valley. A pale hand thrusts through the fissure, dust bursting outward. The air turns cold. Tourists stagger back, cameras clattering to the ground. Screams tear through the crowd. Massive stone chunks break loose, thundering down the mountainside like a vengeful avalanche. The hand tightens its grip. More of the arm emerges, wrapped in remnants of a black and gold robe. A tourist shouts that someone is inside the statue. His warning is swallowed by the uproar. The carved face crumbles further, revealing a silhouetted figure standing in the breach. An impressive pressure washes over the fleeing onlookers. The air itself seems to shiver, hidden within the statue for 100 years. The seal that held this prisoner has finally shattered. The figure steps fully out of the crumbling stone, dust cascading off a black and gold war robe. Long jet-black hair whips in the wind as electric blue eyes open, blazing with a century of stored rage.
A century of darkness, and the world still draws breath.
In the Hokage's office, Akira freezes. A suffocating chakra pressure rolls over the village, ancient and vengeful.
Gather every available shinobi. The mountain, something has broken free.
Guards scramble, their faces pale. They sprint behind their Hokage, racing against an invisible doom. Hayato descends from the shattered statue, each step cracking the rock beneath him. His bloodline, the nullifier, was sealed because it could negate the highest Kage techniques. That power now radiates unchecked. Akira and his forces charge up the trail, the mountain trembling as the ancient threat awaits. At the mountain's base, the two forces come into view. Hayato shrouded in dust, and Akira halting his men, the air crackling with raw hostility. Akira's eyes lock onto the stranger's face, the sharp features, the black and gold robe. It matches a century-old forbidden sketch.
Hayato, the nullifier. Hold your weapons. No one attacks.
They know my name, yet they sheathe their blades. What game is this?
His hand releases the weapon, but the hostility in his eyes remains a frozen fire. Curiosity halts his slaughter, not mercy.
Is there still tea in this village?
Tea? Yes, of course. I will take you myself.
The guards exchange uneasy glances, but the Hokage's word is law. They form a reluctant escort, hands still on their swords. Side by side, the sealed warrior and the current Hokage descend toward the village, an impossible truce hanging by a thread. And so, a man who should have burned the world walks willingly into the hidden leaf, his century of rage still hidden behind a calm question. The village streets were a shock of neon signs and strange metal carriages. Hayato's eyes darted, cataloging each impossibility.
This is not the hidden leaf I swore to burn. They live in peace, while my comrades rotted in forgotten graves.
He stopped before a ramen stand, watching a father lift his daughter to see the menu. A flicker of something ancient and painful crossed his face.
A child, laughing without fear. When did I last hear that sound without blood behind it?
The tea house is just ahead. It has been here for over a century. Unchanged, I hope.
The sliding door opened to a tatami room, steeped in shadow and silence. The scent of old wood and matcha hung like a ghost.
This smell, it is the only honest thing I have encountered. The rest of this world is a lie built on my suffering.
Akira knelt and poured the tea with steady hands. The soft splash seemed louder than any battle cry.
I know you have questions. So do I. Perhaps we can find answers together over this cup.
Steam rose between them, a fragile curtain, masking a century of rage and a village's quiet shame.
You know my name. You must know why I was sealed. Tell me what this village has become.
After your imprisonment, the 5 Kage felt shame. Over decades, the Council of Elders passed reforms to abolish the old ways.
Akira spoke of children once forced into war, now given school books, of forbidden laboratories sealed forever.
The blood experiments were outlawed entirely. Those born with the ability to nullify chakra are now protected, not persecuted.
Protected. And what of the purges? The massacres that erased my clan from history.
Those ended 50 years ago. The last victims are remembered at a memorial in the old training grounds.
Hayato's hand trembled on his blade. The fierce glow of his eyes flickered, the rage finding no purchase.
The purges stopped without me. The world I meant to destroy reformed while I was sealed in stone. Then my comrades, our sacrifice meant nothing. Everything we fought for happened without us.
His fingers uncurled from the weapon. The century-old rage still smoldered, but it had lost its compass.
There is a place you should see. The memorial where the victims of the old regime are honored.
They walked in silence through the village, the path leading to a quiet garden where a stone monument stood among cherry trees. Hayato's eyes scanned the engraved names. His breath caught as he found them. Comrades he had buried in memory a century ago.
Kaito, Mariko, Old Man Hiroshi, all of you here carved into peace, and I was the one left alive to rage.
He placed his palm flat against the cold stone. Blue chakra sparked and died, as if even his power refused to disturb their rest.
Every name on this stone is honored now. Their sacrifice helped shape the reforms. You are not the only one who remembers.
Honored, while I was sealed in rage. They found peace without me. What do I do with this useless fury?
His knees buckled. The warrior who had defied 5 Kage sank to the ground, his forehead pressing against the cool granite. A single tear tracked through the stone dust on his cheek, falling onto the engraved name of a fallen friend.
I wanted to burn the world, but the world had already mourned you. I am the only one still holding a torch.
Days passed. Hayato sat on a park bench, watching the village's young shinobi train in the distance.
They laugh and stumble, unafraid. No one whispers about bloodlines or purges. This world has no need for me.
He drifted through the streets, a relic in an outdated robe, passing windows filled with families sharing dinner. Each evening, Akira found him and they walked the garden paths, words bridging the century.
Revenge dies when the enemy is already dead. The Kage who sealed you are dust, and the system they built crumbled under its own shame.
Then what is left for me, Hokage? I was forged for war. Without an enemy, I am just a weapon with no hand to swing it.
His gaze drifted to the repaired Hokage mountain, his former prison now a peaceful monument.
Even that place has been reclaimed. The stone that crushed me now watches over this peace, mocking.
You are not a weapon, Hayato. You are a man who outlasted his chains. The question is not what to destroy, but what to protect.
Hayato said nothing, but for the first time, the fire in his eyes dimmed to a low, uncertain ember. In a secluded training field, the century-old rage finally found an outlet. Hayato tore through training posts with devastating blows.
It still demands to consume. Without a war, it will consume me.
Blue chakra exploded with each strike, sending splinters into the air. At the edge of the field, Akira watched in silence.
What do I do with this century of hate? Tell me, Hokage, where does it go?
Hate is a fire that burns its container. You must find something to hold it, or it will destroy you.
Hayato's fists unclenched. His breath came in ragged gasps, the fury drained but not extinguished.
I was forged for a war that no longer exists. Maybe I should have died in that stone.
You were not meant to die there. You were meant to outlast it.
Then why do I still feel like a monster wearing a man's skin?
Akira had no answer. The question hung in the air, unanswered, as the sun set on the broken training posts. Akira led Hayato to his office, where a thick folder labeled classified, Hayato lineage, lay on the desk.
I did not want to speak of this until I was certain. Your bloodline did not die. It was hidden.
What? They were all the purges.
Akira opened the folder and slid a photograph across the desk. A girl with brown hair and a chunin vest smiled up at them.
Her name is Miku. She is a chunin of this village, 17 years old, and she is your great-great-granddaughter.
A descendant, my blood still walks this earth. After a century of believing I was the last.
Hayato's chakra flared involuntarily, a faint azure glow sinking with a hidden pulse in the photograph.
She dreams of stone, of being sealed.
Yes, for years she has had nightmares of a dark stone prison. Your sealed chakra has been leaking into her bloodline for generations.
Hayato clutched the photograph, his century of aimless rage now catching on a single, fragile tether. Hayato spent the night in the records hall, tracing family lines long buried by the purge.
The father changed their name. Every generation hid to survive, all because of what I am.
There is footage of her chunin exam. Watch her movements. She fights with your style, without ever being taught.
The footage showed a girl moving with an ancient rhythm. Hayato's hands unconsciously mirrored her stances.
That is my shadow, my curse. It lives in her bones.
She has dreamed of a stone prison every night since childhood. The seal's echo is strongest in her blood.
Hayato touched his chest. The old seal sight throbbed, a faint blue thread pulling toward the unseen girl.
She has been carrying a piece of my hell. For years, she suffered my prison alone.
You wanted a purpose. Perhaps it is not to burn, but to set her free from the stone you both share.
Hayato stared at the photograph. The rage that had no enemy now had a name, and it was not a target. Miku trained with her squad in the dojo, but dark circles shadowed her eyes. Her laughter came a beat too late.
I just need more sleep. The nightmares, they'll pass. They always do.
That night, she fell into a familiar darkness. Cold stone pressed around her, and a distant scream echoed through the crushing silence.
Not again. The stone. It's closing in. Someone is screaming. Is it me?
She woke with a gasp, her hands icy cold, even in the warm night air. The phantom weight of stone still pressed on her chest. The next day, during a routine patrol, a hostile jutsu caught her off guard. Instinctively, she thrust out her palm, and a blue shockwave shattered the attack with ease.
What was that? I didn't even form a seal. It felt like someone else's chakra pouring through me.
Her instructor stared, his voice tight. Such power, that wasn't a normal chakra surge. Miku looked at her trembling hands. A faint blue glow still flickered around her fingers, carrying an echo of ancient rage.
This anger, it's not mine. It's like a storm trapped inside me, and I don't know where it came from.
Hayato watched from the shadows as Miku helped an elderly woman carry groceries. The girl's kindness was a mirror of his own, before the seal.
She suffers because of me. The dreams, the rage, all of it is my curse flowing through her blood.
He followed her at a distance, seeing the exhaustion she hid from her friends. The weight of a century pressed on her shoulders.
If I reveal myself as the monster from her nightmares, she may never recover. I must not become another nightmare.
That evening, Hayato found Akira in the garden. The Hokage listened quietly as the ancient warrior spoke of his descendant.
I need to see her, but not as the sealed monster who has haunted her dreams for years. She deserves better than that.
Then approach her gently, not as an ancestor, but as a fellow shinobi. Let her curiosity bring her to you.
Hayato considered the words, his fists clenched, then slowly relaxed. Rage had always been his answer. Perhaps there was another way.
I will approach her as a stranger. If she senses the connection, she will seek the truth herself. That is her right.
And so, the man who had once sworn to burn the world prepared for his first act of salvation. At dusk, Hayato stood hooded in the training ground, his ancient blade held low. Miku arrived, alerted by a messenger that a retired shinobi sought a spar.
I have heard you fight with a forgotten style. Humor, an old man. Show me your blade.
An old man? Your voice. I don't know why, but I feel like I should. Very well. Let's spar.
Their blades met. The clash sent blue sparks scattering across the field, a chakra resonance neither expected.
That chakra. It's the same as the dream. The same cold stone and screaming. Who is he?
She feels it. The curse recognizes its blood. I should end this before it consumes her further.
Stop. Who are you? I have felt this before, in every nightmare since I was a child. Please tell me.
Hayato said nothing. His eyes softened behind the hood, but he stepped back, retreating into the shadows. Miku stood frozen, her heart pounding. The lingering chakra in the air was undeniable, a bond she could not explain.
I will find out who that man is. He is tied to the stone, to my dreams. I refuse to let this mystery consume me.
She scoured the archives for any record of a sealed shinobi. Old newspapers, forbidden scrolls, anything that might explain the man in the hood. A yellowed front page showed the cracked Hokage mountain with a headline, "Ancient Seal Broken." Below it, a sketch of a man with long black hair and blazing eyes.
Long black hair, electric blue eyes, the same presence. This is him, the man from my dreams.
That night, the nightmare changed. She was no longer merely trapped. She was the one being sealed, chains of light binding her as 5 Kage watched.
You can't do this. I'll kill every last one of you. Hayato.
She awoke, screaming a name she had never heard before. Hayato. It tore from her throat as if it were her own.
Hayato, the nullifier. The one sealed in the mountain a century ago. That hooded man, he is the prisoner from the stone. He's the reason I dream of stone. The source of this cursed chakra inside me. And he's here, in the village.
She did not wait for dawn. Miku marched to the Hokage tower, her chakra sparking with each step, and demanded an audience with Akira.
I need to speak with the Hokage. I know about the sealed shinobi, Hayato. Tell him I must see him now.
Akira opened the door to his office, revealing Hayato standing in the shadows. Miku stepped inside, her breath catching.
You? It is you. The hooded man, and the one from the mountain. Say it. Are you Hayato the nullifier?
I am Hayato, the one sealed in the Hokage mountain 100 years ago, and I am your ancestor.
My ancestor? That explains the chakra. The dreams! You cursed me!
A wave of chakra burst from Miku, the inherited seal's echo flooding her senses with a century of despair.
Stay away. I won't let you trap me in stone again.
I never wanted this curse for you, Miku. I was sealed to rot, but you bear my pain. Let me carry it now.
Miku staggered, the raw emotion too much. Hayato caught her before she fell, his own chakra flaring in response.
His arms, they're warm. Not like the stone. Why? Why do I feel safe?
She did not push him away. For a long moment, the only sound was the crackling of chakra slowly quieting. Miku pulled back, her voice sharpening as the shock gave way to a desperate need for answers.
Why do I dream of being sealed? Every night. Your stone prison crushes me. Tell me the truth.
The seal on my skin bled my hatred through the bloodline. Every generation carried a fragment of my prison.
He rolled up his sleeve. The ancient seal mark pulsed with a sinister blue light, a mirror of the one now faintly glowing on Miku's own arm.
When the 5 Kage sealed me, that mark was forged. For 100 years, the curse leaked into every descendant.
Miku saw it then, not just his pain, but the centuries of winters and wars that passed while he lay trapped.
You made me suffer, but you didn't choose to. You were buried alive in that mountain, alone.
I never wanted this curse for you, Miku. My only wish now is to carry what should never have been yours.
The chakra between them quieted further. Anger still smoldered, but it was no longer the only flame.
But you are here now. Maybe that means the curse can finally end. That we can both stop dreaming of stone.
Hayato led Miku to a quiet garden where cherry blossoms drifted down like forgotten promises.
Before the seal, I loved a woman named Akane. She was gentle, and they killed her for it. And my sister, Yuki, she was 14 when the purges took her. I couldn't save either of them.
Miku gripped his hand tighter, tears streaming. Her chakra pulsed with a grief that was not entirely her own.
The 5 Kage gave me a choice, eternal seal or execution. They feared the nullifier. I chose to rot, hoping someone would finish my rebellion. But that someone was never meant to be you. The village I wanted to burn already built, a world where you could laugh.
His electric blue eyes flickered, the harsh glow dimming to a soft, human azure.
I am so tired of hating. A century of fury, and all it did was hurt the only family I have left.
The ancient rage that had sustained him finally unclenched, leaving only exhaustion and a fragile new purpose.
Then rest, Hayato. You are not alone anymore. We'll carry it together. You gave me your pain, but you also gave me your strength. This curse ends now.
She pressed her palm against the glowing seal on his arm. The instant she touched it, both marks flared with blinding blue light. A wave of chakra burst outward, carrying a century of bitterness. The stone-like seal fragments cracked and spiraled from his arm, disintegrating into azure dust.
It's breaking. The chain that bound my soul for 100 years.
Miku was thrown back by the force, but Hayato caught her in an instant, his chakra now a calm stream instead of a raging inferno. He looked at his bare arm. The mark that had tortured his bloodline was gone. He could breathe deeply for the first time since the sealing.
It's quiet. The screaming in my blood, it's finally silent.
He can feel it too. No more stone. No more cage. Just us.
You freed me, Miku, not the other way around. Thank you.
In that quiet garden, the ancient seal that had imprisoned Hayato for a century finally crumbled into memory, and with it, the curse of his bloodline. Hayato pulled Miku into a clumsy embrace, his body racked with sobs. A century of loneliness and rage poured out in a torrent of tears.
All this time, I thought I was the one who needed revenge, but I was the one who needed saving.
It's okay, Grandfather. You are safe now. I am here, and I am never letting go. We're family.
His chakra, once a violent sea, stilled into a placid lake. The blue glow no longer flickered with rage, but pulsed with a gentle, living warmth. On a distant rooftop, Akira lowered his hand from his heart. A tear traced the lines of his smile as he whispered to the wind.
Welcome home, Hayato. It's been too long.
Hayato raised his eyes to the repaired Hokage mountain. The stone face of the third Hokage, once his warden, now seemed to smile down in silent approval.
I am free, and I have a family.
Let's go home, Grandfather.
Hayato nodded. For the first time in 100 years, the sun felt warm, and the shadow of stone no longer chilled his soul. Days passed, and the masons began to repair the cracked Hokage statue. Hayato walked through the village with Miku, no longer a stranger. A child at a ramen stand offered him a piece of candy. He took it with a hesitant smile, the first he had worn in a century. He ate ramen for the first time, bewildered by the rich broth. It was the taste of a world he had never known.
This is a smartphone. You can talk to anyone, anywhere. Even me, when I am on missions.
He fumbled with the device, but the simple act of learning felt like reclaiming a lost future. At the memorial, he placed a white camellia among the names of his fallen comrades. The petals were soft, like forgiveness.
You're not alone anymore, Hayato. They're proud of you, and so am I.
A tear traced his cheek, but it was no longer bitter. It was relief.
The stone no longer defines me. I am simply Hayato.
They walked away, hand in hand, the repaired mountain watching over them like a quiet guardian. In the old training ground, Hayato guided Miku through the ancient stances, his corrections gentle but precise.
Your center is too high. In my time, that would be a fatal opening. Now, it is simply the path to a better defense.
Later, under the cherry trees, Miku showed him the Chunin certificate she had just received. Her pride was infectious.
They gave me top marks. I wanted to tell you first.
That night they sat on the hill, overlooking the village. The stars scattered like forgotten wishes.
Will you stay now? For good?
I have nothing to leave for. The world I knew is gone. You are my future.
She leaned her head against his shoulder, the excitement of the day giving way to a peaceful sleep. Hayato looked up at the constellation that once bore his clan's name. The stars were unchanged, but he was not.
The silence no longer feels like a prison. It feels like home.
At dawn, Hayato stood on a rooftop, his gaze sweeping the village. The peace of this new era was a fragile thing, and he had become its silent guardian. Inside the Hokage building, a new photograph joined the memorial wall. A candid shot of Hayato and Miku, side by side under the cherry blossoms. But deep in the mountain, in a cavern forgotten by time, the ancient seal array flickered with a purple light. A cold whisper echoed. A voice, not quite human, breathed into the silence. Soon, the chains will break again, and this time, there will be no mercy. Hayato paused, a faint chill brushing his skin. For a heartbeat, the old rage stirred, but he released it with a breath.
Whatever remains in the shadows can wait. Today she smiles.
In the garden below, Miku slept on a bench, a faint smile on her lips. The seal's curse was gone, but a new story was just beginning. Hayato watched over her, his eyes no longer blazing with fury, but burning with a quiet, unyielding vigilance. The seal broke, but 100 years of shadow are not so easily erased.